Hey there everybody, this is PotterBrony, and welcome to another blind reaction of DeathBattle. This time we have Goro versus Machamp. Mortal Kombat versus Pokemon, respectively. Now, Goro was never really my go-to as far as when I played on the old Nintendo and Sega Genesis systems. Yeah, he at my friend's house on Sega Genesis was my preferred way of playing Mortal Kombat, because I had the blood code. And on my Nintendo, it just didn't work that way. Sweat, I think it was. But, yeah, he was never my go-to, so I don't know that much history about him. And I know equally as little about Machamp. I have played some Pokemon games. More recently than before when it first came out. I never watched the anime. I'm not really sure about it. I've seen Detective Pikachu. I think there was a Machamp there somewhere. Isn't that a dude that was directing Traffic, right? Other than that, not really sure as to what the deal is. They're both apparently four-armed powerhouses, so I guess we'll see. So, don't really have anyone I'm rooting for. Doesn't really matter to me one way or the other with this match, but let's just take a look, see what DeathBattle's got in store for us this time. As always, be sure to support the official release, and and the link is in the description below, and let's just get it started and take a look. And starting the video in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Thanks to Miller Lite for sponsoring this episode of DeathBattle.
As the original light beer, Miller Lite has always been there to bring people together. But when your favorite bars are closed and plans are canceled, there's still plenty of good reasons to kick off some Miller time.
Especially when you have
plenty of Corona in the store.
Who just need some time to relax and let off some steam.
Nobody's buying that
stress
stuff.
And hardship,
so
everyone can enjoy themselves with a cold pack of Miller.
Miller Lite might be hard to find. There'll be Corona at the store for you, though.
A classic, available for delivery today.
Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Either one of them suck to me. Beer is fucking awful, but whatever. A nice hard cider would be preferred.
Said, I don't believe in different ways of fighting. We all have two arms and two legs, so that is why I believe there should be only one way.
Well, except for this pair.
Clearly, he never met these four-armed fighters with four forearms.
Goro, the half-dragon prince of Mortal Kombat.
And
Half-dragon
Machamp,
prince,
the fighting-type Pokemon from the Kanto region. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Mortal Kombat! A fighting tournament as killer as its iconic theme song. With a reputation like
It is
that,
a fantastic
you better
theme song.
believe the first boss in the game would be a champion who's won 9 times in a row. He won't just kick your ass, he'll rip your arms off too.
Was he even playable
This
back
is
then?
Goro,
I don't even
prince of
remember.
the Shokan
I never
people,
tried,
one of
so.
the strongest warriors. He's 8 feet 2 inches tall, weighs 550 pounds, and clocks in at 2,000 years old with no signs of slowing down.
He's been through a hell of a lot during his run, but here are the highlights. He fought in a civil war, crushed some $500 sunglasses, and oh yeah, he's a half-humanoid, half-dragon person. Who would be stupid enough to fight a half-dragon with 4 arms?
Not many. Most of
Johnny
the Mortal
Cage,
Kombat roster
apparently.
refuses to fight Goro because they're terrified of losing to him and getting torn in two.
After living for as long as he has, you better believe he's picked up some skills. He's got 500 years of experience in Mortal Kombat tournaments and has mastered a ton of different fighting styles.
He's obviously familiar with the Shokan style, which uses his extra appendages to lethal effect. He's also a master of
Naturally.
the adapted version of the Kuotan style, which is much more elaborate and relies on the strengths of a more traditional humanoid body.
Like kicks and stuff.
Right.
On top of that, Goro's got a ton of fun tricks up his 4 sleeves, like fireballs, dragon
I ain't
knives,
seen those
high-flying
sleeves.
stomps, quadruple grabs, and his favorite,
I see bracers.
Russian skulls. But if those don't work, he's got bladed weapons called dragon fangs. They're like Shredder's claws, but there's 4 of them, 1 for each hand. Oh my god.
Are you okay, Boomstick?
Well, is it
Or the
weird that
gauntlets.
Goro
It
kinda
only goes up
reminds
to
me of the
here.
guy that my ex-wife ran off with?
What, because he's so buff?
Yeah, but mostly the 4 arms. I mean, how am I supposed to keep up with that? He's got 2 more hands than me.
Huh. Sorry. Anyway, with all those tournament titles, it's pretty
says
clear
to the
Goro
one-armed
stands
man.
above most other Mortal Kombat combatants, with a K.
Literally.
Characters like Cabal, Johnny Cage, or even Kotal Khan, who once destroyed this ship, which is clearly inspired by Spanish conquistadors. Based on historical references to similar ships, the power needed to destroy one like this would require over 3 billion joules of energy.
We also saw Raiden destroy this temple with almost 270 tons of TNT, which is a lot. On top of that, Cabal can move fast enough to parry machine gun fire. To pull that off, you'd have to be moving almost 3 times as fast as sound.
Goro's not the only impressive Shokan. The Tiger Stripe Kintaro survived this massive explosion. Using the average height for a Shokan and comparing it to the blast radius,
It's a
we can
hell of an
posit that
explosion.
This explosion yielded a force equivalent to over 25 tons of TNT.
The Shokan are a tough people, that's for sure, and super proud. After a disappointing loss to the Shaolin monk Liu Kang, Goro was unable to secure a 10th MK title in a row. And while it seriously hurt his warrior pride, he didn't stop beating the shit out of people.
Not only did he eventually
That
win
was
that
fucking
title
brutal.
again, but he also fought
Crushed
in
a car
multiple
and $500
wars,
sunglasses.
including one with the similarly powerful Centurions.
But he never stayed in one place for too long, like when he pissed off Kotal Khan and got his arms ripped off.
But even without his primary weapons at his side, Goro would not give up. He even managed to defeat the ninja Kenshi.
Without any freaking arms! God damn! Also,
that is impressive.
Line guy? Throw Professor X in there and you have yourself the ultimate, and definitely most offensive, crippled threat match. Oh, what? I've got one leg!
With or without his many titles, Goro always has the make of a champion. His determination and will to fight is only matched by his strength, power, and, frankly, bloodlust. Even with his failures, he truly is the greatest of the Shokan.
I will give you a war.
You split him down the middle. That's impressive. Alright.
The superpower Pokemon, Machamp, is a fighting type that originated in the Kanto region. They begin their lives
should be
as
less
youthful
bloody.
Machamp, which train tirelessly to learn and eventually master every form of martial arts.
It's a lethal combo of adorable and kick-ass. And they're jacked.
The Machamp possesses muscles more dense than humans that allow them to train for long periods of time without fatigue. Eventually, the young Machamp will reach a new level, leaving behind the days of its youth and evolving into a Machoke.
The Machoke is strong enough to lift dump trucks with ease, and once he's moved on from the teenage days of angst and rebellion, Machoke evolves into the rock spirit Pokemon, Machamp. This four-armed
Rock
fighter
spirit?
stands 5 feet tall and weighs
Interesting.
an average of 280 pounds.
Even
Is
after
that the
realizing
types
its
that it's a
final
combination, or I thought it was just
evolution,
fighter?
most Machamps continue to train and pursue peak levels of physical fitness.
When they're not firing off sets at the gym, they're most likely helping humans as
Yeah, I've seen
movers, construction workers,
Memes
and
of
bodyguards.
this.
Or, you know,
Of
they're
that
just
training
beating other
montage.
Pokemon senseless in the dogfighting ring that is the Pokemon world.
Questionable pet and owner relationships aside,
Or just
Machamp
post
seems
online.
to
I don't know if
simply
there were memes.
enjoy
Yeah, there he was.
competing,
That I thought
whether
so.
in the Pokemon arena or in the outside world.
And Machamps are well equipped for both. They have a ton of great moves like Bulk Up, which increases physical power, Knock Off, which can knock anything off of an opponent's hands, and Seismic Toss. Whoa, holy shit! Did he just launch that rat into orbit?
Fighting type Pokemon like Machamp make for fearsome predators.
They didn't
with
take that much damage,
ice,
considering.
rock, and dark types. Even steel type Pokemon turn brittle under Machamp's brute strength. On the other end of the spectrum, Machamp can fall prey to agile flying Pokemon, cerebral psychic types, and mystical fairies.
Man, Pokemon's f***ing weird.
However, the Machamp can always fall back.
Well, so
under
psychic
natural
attacks would be
perils, the
useful
most
against
common
a
of which
fighter.
is
That makes
named
sense.
Guts. Whenever a Machamp is burned, poisoned, or paralyzed, its adrenaline spikes, increasing its physical power.
Including his physical moves, which is like all of them. According to the Pokedex, Machamp can punch 1,000 times in 2 seconds and can move
Oh, damn.
moves with one hand.
Now, the Pokedex isn't always the most reliable source. However, we have
This seems
seen
like an
proof of
exaggeration,
Machamp's
but
1,000
yeah.
punches in Pokken Tournament. To do this in 2 seconds, Machamp must be punching at speeds faster than sound.
Damn, if having 2 extra arms is like shooting fish in a barrel, then this is like baking perfectly good cookie dough. It's like totally unnecessary.
In order to move a mountain, Machamp would need to exert anywhere from 8 to 30 kilotons of TNT. And pulling off their signature move, Seismic Toss, would require even more energy. Considering an average weight of 200 kilograms for any given Pokemon, and the speed at which they travel when thrown, a typical Machamp's throwing power would need to be equivalent to over 130 kilotons of TNT.
Machamps can also take
Is that
a
more
lot of
powerful than
damage.
Goro's?
They live and fight together after all.
As we can
The
see,
Goro's
Machamp's
damage
and
could take
Machamp's
from the
in
explosion?
particular
I forgot
are
the numbers
opposed
already.
of their own kind. It's natural that they would fight all the time, exhausting an insane amount of power on each other. And, according to some people, they look great while doing it. There's even a fan club of people who find themselves unexplainably attracted to them. This is real.
Probably run by my ex-wife. We didn't even make it halfway through the reception. I guess my signature move is signing divorce papers.
The Machamp is so strong,
Wouldn't that be annulment?
become a favorite amongst gym leaders, such
Is
as
that soon?
Giovanni and B.
Makes sense. They can go head-to-head with a ton of crazy strong pocket monsters.
The Machamp is an extremely tough Pokemon that rounds out any roster. After all, they literally live to fight.
All right,
All right.
the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
I'm gonna say Goro is gonna take this one
Did you know that, according to science itself,
because
66%
he's just
of
that much
men
more
start to
brutal.
lose their hair by the
And
age
if
of
I
35.
don't know if the number is right,
Sadly, I keep trying to force it to stay there through
he
sheer
can take more
willpower.
damage
It's
than
exhausting.
Fact is, the best way to
physical
prevent hair
strength
loss is to do
of,
something before it happens.
Machamp
But
can
thanks to science,
dish out.
baldness can be optional.
At
Perfect solution
least with
thanks to
throwing
our sponsor,
strength.
Heck
4hims.com.
yeah, 4Hims is a one-stop shop for hair loss,
I don't know.
skincare, and
I'll have to take a look,
wellness
see
for
what they
men.
say afterwards.
Even better,
Like I said,
we can connect you with
it doesn't
your
matter to me one way or the other.
This whole shebang was
But
put together
I'm
by a
gonna
guy
vote
who knows
for
private
Goro
conversations
taking this
about your
one.
health can be easier online than in person, so you
Yeah, we
can
should
get the answers you
pay
need
attention to the
without
numbers
having to
more
visit a
often.
doctor's clinic.
Right now, you can get started with your first month free. Go to 4hims.com/deathbattle.
That's 4hims.com/deathbattle.
Prescription requires an online consultation with a physician who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Offer valid only if prescribed. 3-month minimum subscription. Additional restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
Remember, that's 4hims.com/deathbattle. But right now,
All right,
it's
cool.
time for a death battle!
What we got?
What? You're no Shokan. Be gone from my lair. Disgusting.
Not much for conversation, is he?
A pathetic runt like you wastes our dragon blood.
And he dabs. A double dab. Yeah, that won't be that easy.
Face death like a warrior. Stop saying that. You're no champ. I am the champion of Mortal Kombat.
This is really beautifully animated, though. I'll give him that. Yeah, oddly enough, in Mortal Kombat, crushing a skull doesn't mean death instantly. When it does the X-ray images. This, oh, the guts technique. And this really will be who can wear the other one down enough to deliver the killing blow. Oh, took an arm. And took one. He can still fight without. Alright, I guess Machamp.
Oh, he forgot to say he's blasting off again. Do it over. We gotta get that joke right at least
I don't
once.
think
This was
he
certainly a
had the opportunity.
unique battle to experience.
While Machamp's resilience came in handy, Goro's fighting styles continued to put Machamp to the test again and again. Plus, Goro's huge. At 8 feet tall, Goro towers a full 3 feet over the average Machamp. Obviously, not including the Dynamax and Gigantamax forms found exclusively in the Galar region.
Also, while Machamp could punch at Mach 1 speeds, Goro could technically match Cabal, who would need to move at nearly Mach 3 to parry machine gun fire.
So, as
Alright,
far
fair
as
enough.
punching speed was concerned, it looks like Goro actually had the advantage.
Except it hardly mattered. Machamp's power output outdid Goro's and then some. Even scaling Goro to Kotal Khan's ship feat and comparing it to the seismic toss, Machamp is almost 170,000 times more powerful.
This Karate Duck Man is
Alright,
on
fair
a
enough.
whole other level. Plus, he had a ton of ways to counter everything Goro threw at him. Knockoff prevented Goro from using weapons, and Guts meant he could take Goro's fire breath and use it for himself.
The Dragon Fangs and Fire Breath hardly would make much of a difference considering how durable the Machamp species is. After all, their primary trait is learning how to fight, so they'd naturally be fighting each other quite frequently.
Ah, the majestic Machamp, roaming the fields of the Kanto region, gently seismic tossing each other into orbit. Just imagine walking past that on your Sunday
What are you thinking about, Wiz?
You were right. The Pokemon world is wild.
This grabby match turned bloody brawl was intense and made me realize that we're all strong and beautiful just the way we are. No matter how many arms
a
you
good
have
sentiment.
or whose wife you stole.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Excellent battle that would have made his people proud. He didn't have enough to overpower the superpower Pokemon.
Unfortunately, this foe was forced to forfeit his 4 fists. Fitting that his final fate would be so freaking gory.
Nice alliteration.
Here is
No pun, just alliteration this time. Cool.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of DeathBattle.
Alright, who we got next?
For yourself, you can get it by clicking the link down below.
And if you want to watch more stuff, check the boxes right over there.
Next time. Cable. Nice.
Only one of us walks out.
Booster Gold. Not familiar with Booster Gold. I'm assuming a DC character. Probably with similar backstory to Cable. It's just first guess. Well, that was Goro versus Machamp, and like I said, I wasn't invested in that one. Would have been fine one way or the other. I usually am with these. Alright, fair enough. I guess his output, as far as dishing out damage, was more than Goro could take. Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that, but I'm going to end this one here. Until next time. Take care.